Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the show that you definitely do not want to miss. It is the precursor to HomeDadCon.
Yay!
I'm so glad
Right?
that you got the cue that's what we were about to do.
Yes, of course. I don't need a cue for that. I'm going to do it anyway.
We're like Kermit the Frog and the Muppet Show.
Yep, Kermit Flip. I am so excited. I am stupidly. It's Tuesday when we're recording, and I'll be in Milwaukee on Monday.
I know, I'm jealous.
Yeah. Well, did I tell you what happened? I don't know if I told you what happened.
I heard like something about like you were being released into the wild early. But other than that, I don't know.
Well, Marnie looked at me and she said, "Are you leaving on Monday or Tuesday?" And I went, "Monday." And she said, "No, wait, for real." I'm like, "Yeah, for real. If you don't know, if you don't have it in your head when I'm leaving, then it doesn't matter which day I leave." So
bravo, sir. Bravo.
Right? And I do have to find a place to sleep on Monday night. I'm probably going to go down to
a park bench in downtown.
Yeah, no, probably one of the members' houses, and just he's about an hour away. Paul Gordon. Since
you're going to hang out with Paul. Nice.
Yeah, he offered to let me come by his house. He said he thought it would be okay, and then Tuesday I actually share a room with Paul and Eric Schoberg. Okay. So yeah, and then Wednesday I finally get my room because I couldn't get the reservation to bump up. But anyway,
nice.
Yeah, so I'm going in Monday. I got 6 days, man, 6 days. And when this comes out, if it goes out on a regular schedule, I'll be listening to it in Milwaukee.
Well, the idea is, yes, that I will basically be immediately editing this and have it published by Friday so that everybody can listen to it before they pack up to head out. That way, all of this information is right there at your fingertips. So that is the plan. So give me a couple of days to basically do, get the editing done, which isn't a big deal. It's just literally just sitting down and putting it together. So that's what I'm going to do. And we've got some great stuff to talk about tonight because we're just basically going to run through the things that are going to take place as far as what to be looking forward to, maybe some tips and tricks along the way. But at the end of this show, you should have a lot of information and a lot of answers to any questions that anybody's wondering about at this point. So let's kick it off with talking about electives, because that's the thing that people are coming in early for. Some people are already set on them. Maybe others don't know. And if you're if you're driving in and trying to figure things out, or if you're local too, that's the other thing. If you're local, you can get involved with it. And that's one of the really cool things about it being in certain cities, is that maybe if you can't make it to the convention itself, you can make it to these these electives. So what do we got going on? So it starts on Wednesday, other than the crazies that are coming in on Monday and Tuesday and are doing their own thing.
Specifically scheduled on Monday or Tuesday.
No,
there
there's
have
really
been
not.
A lot of people that have made plans and they're going to go to certain places to eat. And a lot of times what really surprised me, and this happened when my first convention and probably the first 5 before I really realized what was going on, is that our members, and especially our board members, get together that week before the convention hits. Yeah. And as you know, from being convention chair and planning committee and all that, and just being at the convention, you know how much work it is. So getting together with each other, just those friends that you can hang out with and like talk to people on the board. We only talk in Slack, which is text, and then a monthly board meeting. And, realistically, that's about all we see each other. So it gives us a really good opportunity. And I was amazed that people were showing up. Like I said, you got here Tuesday. What did you do? And I really couldn't. I'm like, why would you be here? Nothing's going on. Oh, au contraire, a lot is going on. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday is really just kind of up in the air. A couple of guys getting together for like Serbian food, I think is one of the restaurants they're going for.
That's one
But
of the things going on. Yep. There's guys like me and Joe that are going down to Chicago to the Cubs game on Tuesday night, that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So,
and it's just that kind of road trip buddy movie fun, feeling to it. Let's just, why don't you and I go down and do this thing? But
yeah,
Wednesday it starts, I think, officially, because that's the brewery hop. And
right.
if I remember it correctly, there are 20 people that are going plus the driver.
There are. Yep. Yeah. There's a group. So there's a group doing that. Yeah. And
so they're going
and
brewery hops all day.
And Matt Strain is a van driver for that. I think they have like a 15 passenger van or something, and maybe somebody else is driving, but that's going on. I am gonna be going to, and so I guess this would be my way of putting this out there. If you're going to be there on Wednesday and the brewery hop does not seem like something you want to do, I am unofficially going to go check out the Harley Davidson Museum and the National Bobblehead Museum, because they're really close to each other. So,
you've talked about that before.
And then I'm gonna go meet up with everybody for beers afterwards. Like, so that's how that's gonna play out. But yeah, that's
a dinner prepared. They have dinner reservations for that evening, and I don't remember where it is because it's switched and my notes are wrong. But basically, we're going to get together and have dinner.
Yeah.
And just imagine a room full of dads. I mean, it's like we're prepping for the convention with a smaller convention. Get 20, 30 people in the room, and that everybody, I know you, I know you, I know you.
And it makes everybody else in the room look and be like, who is all these people?
Right. So one of the things we have talked about in the past is trying our best to get on the dad lounge, especially before your first convention. Yes. And for anybody that hasn't been on, unfortunately, I don't think we will have another one before we go to the convention.
We will. Monday? We'll have one on that Monday. Yeah, there'll be one that
All
Monday. Right. There won't be one on that Thursday.
So your last chance before the actual convention, because that's a big icebreaker. It's a chance again to sit around in a room, virtual room, and just talk to other dads and get to know them. So that's something I would say is a tip, and we're going to put that in our tips every year, I think. So yeah, go sit in the dad lounge. Just sit there. You'll like it, and then you'll start talking.
Yep.
Because then you're not going in cold turkey, as it were, and you don't know anyone.
Even if it's just you sign on your phone and you set it up somewhere while you're like packing your bag or whatever to like get ready to leave. Do it.
Just listen.
Then you can listen in. You don't have to, if you want to talk, great, but it's not necessary. So, but it is necessary to go too. You should definitely check it out. So that's Wednesday. Lots of excitement there. And then there'll be, of course, people showing up, flying in, driving in throughout the day on Wednesday. So that's also a lot of fun, because you just all these continual meet and greets and hugs and everything are going on.
Yep.
And then Thursday is when things really kick into gear.
Yes. Yeah. That's when we really just take off. That's the official. And again, it used to be at most it was convention eve that evening. And
right.
I knew a lot of dads in the past, like, well, I'm not even going to be there Thursday. I'll show up, late Thursday night, sleep in, and then I'll go to the convention. No, you definitely
miss out on so much if you don't come to convention eve. Yeah.
Right. But one of the biggest things, my big thing, is on Thursday we are playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're playing D&D in the house of the creator of Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax, in his basement. And we're going to order pizza from the place he ordered pizza for his group while he played.
That sounds awesome.
And I'm like, this is the nerdiest thing I could possibly imagine, and my head's going to explode. I can get a t-shirt. Even get a t-shirt.
That's magical.
So yeah, it's going to be incredible. Like, this is exactly where I want to be. So we've got 2 tables full of guys, and I think there's 5 at each or 6 at each. Plus the guy running it, plus the DM. So we've got 12, 14 people going.
That sounds fun, man.
Going to grab a van, drive out there. I'm going to be in my Suburban, which, by the way, we talked about me bringing my Prius and us getting a photo op. We should still get a photo op.
We'll still do a photo op.
My Suburban. Because it's more indicative of this guy's got 4 kids.
Yeah, you're fine.
He can't drive a Prius regularly. But also, I'm going to be doing, since you mentioned people coming in, I'm going to do my very best to be there for people at the airport so they don't need to take an Uber.
There you go.
And to just pick up as many people as I can. So I thought, Well, let's say I get 3-4 people, Prius isn't going to work. It'll work
No.
for 3, maybe with luggage. I can pick up 3 people, but anything over that, and even at that, we're like with the Suburban, this is what it's made for.
Yeah,
right?
you're in good shape
So,
there then.
yeah,
So yeah,
so I'm doing with
you
that.
got D&D going on
Mhm.
Thursday. There's also, I believe Thursday morning is also the 5K.
Yep. Dad runs this house.
Dad's run this house. Yep. And
Put
so
on
that's
mostly by
going
Kyle
on.
Denny.
And I believe that starts at 8 o'clock, or we're meeting at 8 o'clock.
Mhm.
And then you have until I think 10 o'clock to finish the run, or walk, however you're going to do it.
Mhm.
And then right after that is a cleanup at the
Mhm.
park where the finish line is.
Right.
And so there's that project that's going to be taking place. So if you're not running and the cleanup works for you, then show up for the cleanup at the park, and
Mhm.
you might be able to help out with finish line stuff as well, which
Yep.
Kyle would
Help us break it
definitely
down.
appreciate anybody who wants to just jump in and help out with that.
Yeah, we need
Um,
volunteers there for sure.
yeah. And it's always good to just also like find a spot down the way and cheer on the runners as well. That's
Mhm.
that's a good thing to do too. So we'll have that on Thursday, and then after the cleanup is the photo walk,
Mhm.
and that's always fun because you don't have to have
Yeah.
a big special DSLR camera or anything like that. I
No.
mean, it's literally just a bunch of us walking around, enjoying the city and snapping photos of whatever.
Mhm.
And I mean, you can be creative if you want, however you want to do it. And honestly, like there are guys like Joe Saladino and Brett Landry, I believe, as well.
No.
And
He's not going to be there this year.
oh, he's not going to
He's
be there this
going
year.
on a cruise.
Oh, that's right. Never mind.
Good
My
for
bad.
you, Brett, but you jerk.
Yes.
Could have picked a different weekend, buddy. No, that's fine. That's fine.
But
I got to see him.
what I'm saying is that there are people there that do have like a higher skill set in photography, which
Mhm.
is great, because if you've ever wanted to be like, how can I take this in a different way or whatever, like it's fun to learn that. And then when you're out with your family and be like, oh, check out this, thing I learned to do with my phone, and that kind of
Yeah.
take a nice picture.
And a lot of times too, we see people that get a camera and like they wanted a camera for their birthday, Christmas, whatever gift they got it for, but they really haven't gotten into it. And I know for me, I'm a very kinesthetic learner. I'm hands-on.
Yeah.
I can read the book and I'm like, okay, this button, this, I don't know. But when I get out there, and these guys are, like Joe, especially just professional photographers. And they're like, oh yeah, let me show you how to do that. Let me show you how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but try this instead. And the pictures that we've gotten, some of the most amazing shots that I've got in my gallery, let's say, or whatever, my albums, is pictures that some of the guys did on the photo walk in Minneapolis.
Oh, I love Minneapolis.
And it was just, the pictures were incredible. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I looked right at what you looked at. I took a picture of what you took. It didn't look anything like that.
Yeah.
What is going on? But again, that, the photographer's eye kind of thing.
That's how Eric Schoberg and I actually like bonded, was through learning how to use our DSLR cameras side by side as we were walking down the streets in Minneapolis. So
nice. Yeah.
But yeah, so just all that is a lot of fun. And also too, along with that, we actually have, so like you're going to take all these pictures and be like, oh, like, what am I going to do with them? Well, the org really loves to collect those because we can use them in different aspects, whether it's to like show a sponsor, like, hey, this is what we do or whatever. We are going to have QR codes in the program for you to be able to scan and actually dump your pictures into a Google Drive. And that's really just a great place to be able to share, because also too, like, all the other attendees are going to be able to see that and be able to look and check out those photos as well. So it's a great way to just sort of share without being like, oh God, I got to post this on like Facebook and like do this thing. And it's just a lot of time, really time consuming, when honestly, like you could be sitting at the table listening to like a keynote speaker or something and just be like, blink, and they're there, it's that simple.
Yep. And there hopefully be a lot of pictures. Anybody that's listening, take pictures of everything you do.
Yeah.
Send them to us. We want to see all the pictures. We're really, really excited to see how many pictures we can get this year.
Get all those selfies with all those guys that you're like,
mm-hmm.
I just wanted to meet so and so.
Yeah. This guy,
I wanted to meet Danny and Brock, like, okay.
Maybe Brock. Yeah.
Whatever. You give way better hugs than me, so they're definitely going to be looking for you. But yeah, so that's Thursday, along with, that's kind of like the morning portion of things in the afternoon. What we'll have going on in the evening hours is sort of like the start of official check-in, which that's another thing too. If you are interested in helping with check-in, I know Keith and Greg and those guys, like, they would love your help because it takes a lot of people and a lot of moving parts to make that just be a smooth process. And so if that's something, if you've got time to help out, that would be great. They would greatly appreciate your help in check-in. When check-in happens, I believe it's around like 5-ish, I want to say. And then at 6:30, there's going to be an in-person first-timers meeting. And we're just kind of run down some of the stuff that we're talking about now, but also to just give a chance for you to see, like, hey, you're not the only first-timer, and and just all that.
And saying you're not the only first-timer, how many people do we have this year? Did you get the number?
I think it's like 20, 21 maybe. Yep. There's a lot of, I take that back.
I think it was 23 last time we talked.
Yeah, it might even be more than, it might be up to 25 actually. It's quite a bit. Like it's about a quarter to a third of the attendees, which is awesome.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And first timers too. It's not just first timers in the fashion of like attending HomeDadCon, but some of those people that are attending are also speakers. So they fall into that category as well. So it's really neat to also get to have that interaction also with the speakers and stuff that are there. So that's going to happen. And then from there, everybody else will probably, for the most part, walk their way to 3rd Street Market Hall, but we'll go as a group to 3rd Street Market Hall, which is where Convention Eve is going to take place. And this location is awesome. And the space that we're actually occupying is a space that we haven't even, like, I haven't laid eyes on it, because when we were there back in March, April, I think it was April. You could not see much because it was still under construction at the time. But it's going to be a great space, and the weather is going to be so perfect for the fact that not only can you occupy the inside, but you can also occupy the patio outside.
Yep. And speaking of, I just want to tell everybody, and I've said this in our Discord, but I want to tell anybody that might not have heard the message, bring a hoodie.
Yep.
Just bring a hoodie, and just in case, bring a rain jacket if you can, just something small, because
don't be talking about the wetness. What are you talking about?
I'm just going to say, you got to be prepared, right? But I have gone so many times and ended up like, I should have just brought a hoodie. I just didn't, I wasn't ready for it to be, and it's not like incredibly cold, but I'm used to Georgia.
A little chill. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's September. That's not even, it's still 80s. No, it's not.
I've got plenty of zip up hoodies that will be packed to come with me for sure.
Good. And I will say too, for anybody that wants to at some point have a cigar, that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing. Bring a hoodie, because we're going to be outside doing that one for sure.
Yep, definitely. I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Getting to go just walk around and smoke a cigar. That's one of the funnest things I find, is like, go get a cigar, light it up, walk around the city and just talk and enjoy that. That's going to be really like a fun thing to do. So Convention Eve, by the way, like, that is food and drinks going to be there. Food is provided for that. We actually, I just want to put out a special thanks. I don't know that this person will actually get to hear this or not, but the very awesome and also lifetime member of the organization and creator of Father's Eve, John Francis. He's not able to actually make it this year. And he's bummed about that, but he didn't want that to keep him from being somewhat a part of what's going on. And so he is actually donated a portion of money to put on the bar tab. And so we will have tickets for basically like your first drink on Father's Eve from John. So
thank you, John Francis.
Yes, thank you so much. Like, John's been such an amazing sponsor and friend of the organization, and just a true brother to all the dads. And so it's one of those things where it's like, if you meet him in person, you completely understand why, but at the same time, like, his generosity is just overflowing, and his support and love for what this organization does is very, like, he gets it, and he shows it through, just being able to support in different ways. So I just wanted to thank him for that. So yeah, so that's also something that's going to take place on Thursday. So we'll have all that going on, and then I don't know, I thought I heard, and I need to look at the schedule here while we're chatting, but I believe that the first beer share is yes, the first beer share is going to take place that night from 9 to 12. So from 9 to midnight, there will be actual, like, beer share stuff going on. So that'll take place back at the hotel. I don't know. It's in a room. It's not in a hotel room. It's in a it's in a space.
No, I believe it's in Keith's room.
Oh, I thought we had but it's a room like Cincinnati, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is a larger room. Definitely.
Yeah, it's like a hospitality type room, basically.
So should be plenty of area, plenty of space.
Yeah.
Also cut off at midnight. Which I think is the smartest thing that the guys from the Beer Share group have done, is to say, we need to set a time because we're going to be here till 4:00. Yeah. And you would, and and we say Beer Share again, it's a tasting. It's, hey, I brought this beer from Seattle or Portland, whatever, and here it is. And I've got a can of it. I've got this many ounces, and you each get, I don't know, 1-2 ounces or whatever, but just to have a taste of it and see what it's like. But a big part of that too is that experience, again, with your brotherhood, for lack of a better word, that shared goal, that shared interest. Yeah. And you just bond over all of that. It's an amazing time.
Yeah. And some of those beers that they're going to open up and actually share are also going to be beers that you can also raffle or put in for auction to win as well. So if you try it and you're like, ooh, I really like this, like, those are the things that sometimes you're going to find out you might have the opportunity to maybe take one home with you and try the whole bottle, either with yourself or share it with local buddies back home, type of deal. So that'll happen on Thursday. Things will close up for Thursday, which is nice because either you can continue to stay up and talk afterwards, outside of that room, or you can go to bed, which is probably what the way to go. Because
that's what I'm gonna be doing.
Because Friday morning is gonna come real quick, and Friday morning you're gonna get up, breakfast at 7 a.m. and at 8 o'clock is when we're gonna have like the initial opening to everything, and so that's everything. I will say this: if you have background in audio video, and you would like to use that talent, we would gladly take your help, because we are going to be setting things up starting around 6 o'clock in the morning. And it really takes a big team of guys to like put things together, and it stinks because sometimes we can't get into these rooms until like early in the morning, just because of the way hotels are. So if you're somebody who has that as a talent, and like you've done something along those lines, like, please speak up. You would be, you are highly needed.
Any part of it, if it's just running wiring, that's great. If it's working a board, that's great. If it's walking around with a wireless mic, that's great. We have so much that's going on, and I think people, once you see the convention, it's really surprising that this is all volunteers. There really is nothing about it that we are professional, this or this. It's we'll just do it the best we can. And we've learned, I mean, this is years and years, decades, in fact, of putting on a convention so that it is a really quality convention that we can still offer to people for our members, what we consider a very, very reasonable rate. especially with all the stuff that you get during the convention.
Definitely.
But everything that we do is volunteer. So we're going to need people. I don't think we have to do tables and chairs.
No,
I
we
think
don't.
they'll do that for us.
That's hotel. Yep.
Because that's 100 chairs and I don't want them. But just things like, this is where we're going to set it up. This is the mics we're going to use. This is the lapel mic that we're going to put on and what have you. And having somebody there that can say, oh, okay, you just need an extra set of hands.
Yep.
And yes, we do. So
yeah,
like
definitely.
you said, volunteer, please.
Yep. So we have that. We'll have our first keynote speaker, which we haven't really talked about who that is. However, we have him on the show tonight. And
special guest.
He's always with me on the show. Our one and only Danny Mercer is going to be our opening keynote speaker, talking about self-care without the guilt, which all of us, I guarantee, are going to be able to connect with immediately, just because I feel like all of us have had that conversation one way or another on some sort of platform. So I'm really excited to hear more of what you're gonna say about that at your presentation. We talk about it all the time on the show in little snippets, but to actually have a nice formulated and formatted presentation, I'm excited to hear what that's going to be
got
like.
Slides and everything.
It's my goodness, look at you.
It's crazy.
Love it. So that's going to happen. And then we've got breakout sessions, another keynote happening with Jeffrey Bernstein. He's got, is it a panel? Oh, yeah.
No, it's not a panel. We listed it as a panel originally. He thought it was going to be a panel, but it's going to be a keynote. And then questions after. So, but yep, just him.
Yeah. So we'll have him, and then lunch, which lunch is provided. I don't have it on here, but Matt Strain, like, claps all around. Like, seriously, he's been awesome over the years, and especially this year, has put together an amazing menu for lunches and dinner.
And we need to clarify, in case you haven't spoken to Matt. Matt was a chef before he became an at-home dad.
He was, yes, he was.
Now, if you've spoken to him about anything, he's told you that. But
if you haven't, he's going to come up to you and he's going to try to put his meat in your mouth.
He's going to
as well, because he brings cured meats.
Right, he cures his own meat. It's amazing.
It's delicious. Yeah, so we'll have him having all that put together. And if you've got any questions about food or whatever, just go talk to him, because that's the easiest way to do it, honestly. And then after lunch, Chris Gaffney's going to be doing a keynote, and then we'll have another breakout, followed by a final keynote for the night with Noel Chesley. And then this is kind of a new thing, actually, which I'm really excited about. We're gonna have a special event where we are going to actually go to a bar, right? Wisconsin. Yeah.
Drink Wisconsinably. And they are going to teach us how to make old fashions on what is Wisconsin's Brandy Old Fashioned Day. A brandy old fashioned. That's right.
Yeah.
Because that's a very specific Wisconsin thing. I've been corrected on that many times. It's a brandy Wisconsin.
Yes. Well, and apparently brandy is like the official liquor of Wisconsin, from what I've learned, which was news to me, and which I'm very excited about because I enjoy brandy. So that's going to be even more fun. So that we're going to have that special event, and then after that's done, we're going to do group photos in the lobby, which you definitely don't want to miss out for that, because we do a huge big group photo. And then also too, if you were involved in things like, if you're involved in the book club, if you're involved in the beer share as a committee person, if you're a city dad organizer or a nominee for the board, and there's probably some other ones that we're missing in there, first timers, that kind of stuff. We want to make sure that we get a group shot of those things. And so it's very important that you be there for that, and then right after that, we're actually having dinner together. Big dinner in a nice fancy room called The View. And it has got a view.
it's the top floor. Yeah. And it's 360 degrees glass.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
If you've never been in a really schwanky hotel like restaurant, this is going to be your time.
Yep. And the Hyatt, most of them had that type of top floor for a long time. The one in Atlanta had it as well. And originally it would rotate.
Yeah.
So as you sat there, and it's very, very slow, of course. So, but as you sit there eating, you'll see slowly the entire landscape, right, of the entire of the city, and it was amazing. But this is still, we've been up there again. We went up to look before we decided on this hotel. The view was incredible all the way around. It was like no matter where you looked, there was the architecture or to see the lake, just everything going on. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I didn't get to see that, but as I showed up later, but I'm excited for that. And then that night we're going to do games in, I believe, the view room as well. And then the beer share will take place at that same time. So kind of go back and forth between those two places. There's a lot of games that are going to be going on. If you're somebody who likes board games and you have like a favorite that you want to play with other people, bring it. Because that's a lot of what goes on in the evenings, is just the opportunity to sit down and play some board games. Guys do other things as well, but those are the two things that we have scheduled specifically to take place that night. So that's Friday night, and Friday. Saturday.
Say one thing before we move on.
Oh yeah,
that Saturday is the day you want to wear your convention T-shirt. You get a T-shirt when you get your ticket. When you get your badge, it's in your bag.
Wait,
wear that shirt on
Friday night? Yeah. Friday night, you want to make sure
for the photo.
For the photo, make sure you're wearing your convention T-shirt, and we'll make that also known too when you pick it up as well, so that way people know. But yeah, that's going to be the big thing. Breakfast on Saturday morning, 7:00. We'll do a little bit later start. 8:30 will be the opening, followed by a keynote at 9:00 with Melissa Davidson, which we had on the show. That was a lot of fun talking to her, so I can't wait to hear her presentation. And then we're going to have a breakout, and then it'll be like a little bit of, sorry, not a breakout. We're gonna have a little bit of a break in between that keynote, and then we have our annual meeting and vote for nominees that takes place at 10:30. And so that's really important to be there because your vote counts on these board nominees. And also, too, it's good to come to the annual meeting because you learn a lot about what the organization has been doing. And I believe, is that the same time, too, that we are also, that's the same time, too, that we'll also be going through like some awards, I believe is what we do at that time. Because we've got our Hogan Hilling Award that we're going to be giving away, which is just always a great opportunity to just like, it's just fun to like see this year, especially because I think that we changed up how we're talking about it, because it's not just, hey, here's the person who got it, but also too, like, here's all the people that were nominated for it and why as well. So, and we wanted to make sure that those folks got recognized as well. So that's going to be really special to take place. There'll be a break, and then we're going to do lunch, which is provided again, and we'll be announcing the new board members at that point.
Yep. I'm excited. 7 people to choose from to vote for, and only 3 positions open. What's going to happen?
It's going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be great.
I don't think that should be something you say. Slobber knocker sounds bad.
It's a wrestling term, man.
Is it?
It is. Yeah. Jerry Lawler, Jerry the King Lawler used to say it all the time. This is a slobber knocker match.
All right. I'll believe you.
Any of my wrestling fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. That's all that matters. So after lunch, we've got breakouts, and then a little bit of a break, and then another set of breakouts. So we'll have back-to-back breakouts with a break in between, followed by, after those two, another little break. And then our closing keynote is Chris Gaffney, right?
No, Turf Valley.
Turf Valley. Oh shoot, it's not even in here. That's why everything got turned around. See, this is what happens.
We had Adam on Tom on the show just last week, man.
I know. It's a lot going on. Turf Valley.
Really excited to hear from them, and they're talking about the filming of things and what they were doing like that. But I really think it's a great opportunity for people to hear, for our members especially, to hear from them directly. These guys, they put on an amazing show. They're really good producers. They have good writers, the actors. It's all very well done. And we talked about it last week. they won a ton of awards for this show.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're willing to come to us and talk about it, and they're even bringing one of the actors, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, they've been a huge support of the organization, honestly, and just wanting to take what they're doing and mesh it with what we're doing. And it's going to be exciting and a lot of fun. So that's definitely a keynote not to miss, because I'm sure that there'll be some really good laughs involved in it. Those guys are funny anyways. In person, I'm sure they'll be even more funny. So that's the closing is going to be Turf Valley. And then after they're done, you definitely don't want to leave, because we'll have closing remarks, including the announcement of where 2024 HomeDadCon will be taking place. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it, because along with that announcement is also going to be a special announcement about tickets for that as well. So that those two things alone should hopefully draw you in. And then after that, you're free for all at that point. We don't have a dinner set up of any kind. It's basically your chance for your last night in Milwaukee with all of the guys, all your buddies, to hit the town, go find a restaurant. And honestly, I'll tell you this right now, if you're going to get a group of guys together and you're going to try to put 10, 20 guys in a restaurant, pick the restaurant during lunchtime and try to get a reservation in there, because otherwise it's going to be chaotic. So I'll put that little bit of a tip out there for you on that one. So definitely do that. And then from 9 to midnight again on Saturday will be the final beer share. Always a good time. You're going to get raffle tickets, by the way, when you go to these. I believe you get one for coming into the room, and then you can buy more if you'd like, which gives you more opportunities to win stuff, but also goes towards the scholarship fund as well. So there's kind of a twofold in there. And then everybody will be taking off on Sunday at different times during the day. So in the mornings.
Yep. I want to point out two things. One thing that happens on both days. We do have our mental health support groups each day. That's one of the breakouts. Yes. And I want to make a point to say that, because so that people understand that we have a support group. It is what you would think a support group would be. You sit around and probably in a big circle and just talk about stuff that's choking you. It's the best way to put it. And whatever that might be, this job is so frustrating. And there's so many things that we have to deal with in this job, that I'm saying this because the support group for me, that's part of my support network every week, twice a week, in fact. But to build that up for yourselves, anybody that's out there, self-care is best care.
Yes.
If you're feeling it, go to the support groups. Choose one, either the Friday or the Saturday. Because there's a lot of people generally that want to go. So just pick one or the other, but would really like to see you. And if you need anything personally, just come find me.
Yep, definitely. The last little bit of things that I wanted to point out, and this is because even though this is going to get put in the first timers information packet, I feel like sometimes there's even returnees that maybe forget this. Some things to remember. If you can get a battery pack for your cell phone to be able to have it charged or whatever, do that. Super important, because there's never going to be enough outlets for everybody to plug your phone in and charge them up. So if you've got a battery pack that you can plug it into, highly suggest that. Also too, bring a reusable water bottle, because that just saves on the amount of cups that get used anyways. And we will have water stations and things like that. So definitely do that. And then the other thing is that the programs have blank spots for taking notes. So, and we have pens and everything there for that. So that's something if you want to bring your own notebook, fine. But we make sure that in the program, there's space for notes. I think a lot of times we've never really said that. So I wanted to make sure that got put out there, because I know that's really important to a lot of folks. And then if you're listening to this and you have not joined Discord, highly suggest doing that. You can reach out through email to get the link for it, because it is something that actually expires when you create links for it. So if that's something you want to do, if you just email at you can either basically, if you email at convention@homedad.org, we'll see that. We can get that to you. And then that way you can be more connected and be able to communicate with the other attendees at that point. I don't really have anything else. That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Whew, man,
You out of breath?
a little bit. I feel a little
Didn't love
winded.
talking. Yeah,
I know. I didn't get
get it all
I didn't
out
get my
in the
run in
time.
today. I didn't get my run in today because I donated blood. So I mean, I guess I get the old heart pumping just by talking about HomeDadCon.
Well, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I'm not ready to go. I couldn't leave right now because I'm not packed or anything, but I am looking forward to this so much.
Yes.
Every year.
That's what we were talking about before the show too, was just the readiness to go. I feel like, the world feels like it's kind of falling down on you in different ways with things. And it's like, okay, hit the ejection button. Let's get out of here type of deal. But I really feel it this year, just because of everything going on in my life. And there's a lot of guys in the same way. Like there's things going on in your life and you're just like, I need a break. Well, we all are ready to have that break, and it's going to be great. And hopefully too, you feel recharged, re-energized, come back with a passion for your family and your kids that maybe was lacking. And that's really the thing, like, that you grow professionally as a dad when you're at the convention. That's the greatest hope of all for the like kind of period ending to the week or the weekend for that matter.
There you go.
Yeah. But we need to get off here so I can edit this thing, man. So
get her done.
We'll see y'all in a few days. And yeah, have a good one. Talk to you later.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.